I did my studies as undergraduate in sport sciences and sport in Spain, but my vision of sport and my experience was a bit narrow just from the Spanish industry perspective. So that's why I decided to come here to London, and I studied in Birkbeck. I did international business master's studies, but with a small specialization in sport management and sports marketing, which gave me the chance to link my undergraduate with my international business master's studies. And it was really, really inspiring to be here with great professors like Sean Hamill and Simon Chadwick. And after finalizing my master's here in Birkbeck, I went into work for a great business school in Madrid called IESE Business School, and I got the chance to get an interview with them, also thanks to the good networking that the professors of Birkbeck have. And after moving from London to Madrid, I worked for 2 years in this business school doing research in sports, mainly with Olympic athletes and with football clubs. And this also helped me to develop different skills like research, that it was something very important here in Birkbeck when I studied. And after these 2 years, I tried to be a consultant on my own. So I worked for 10 months here in London and Madrid with small companies. And I was trying to help them in small projects, in online businesses and foundations and different businesses to try to improve their vision of sport. And at the same time that I was working as a consultant, I started to work in my spare time with kids with disabilities. And this is something that really inspired me and made me really look for an opportunity within the Paralympic movement. So thanks to reading a book about the Paralympics, I went to meet the person who wrote the book, Keith Gilbert, professor of University of East London. And he put me in contact with the International Paralympic Committee. And after 4 months of discussions with the International Paralympic Committee, I managed to secure a move and come to Bonn. And that's where I'm based at the moment, within the International Paralympic Committee. The Stoke Mandeville Hospital, it was a hospital here in the UK, just outside London, that it was mainly treating people in wheelchair that they were originally coming from the army. And at the beginning it was just about trying to rehabilitate them, but with the vision of Sir Ludwig Guttmann, he saw the opportunity to not only to rehabilitate them, but to integrate them in society and try to enhance their perception of themselves. So he thought about doing something similar to the Olympics, but for the people with a disability. So he started with the small games in Stoke Mandeville in 1948. And these small games, through the years and with his effort, has become the second largest multi-sport event in the world. So this vision that he had inspired what we can see today here in London. The International Paralympic Committee oversees the preparations and the celebration of the London 2012 Paralympic Games, which is organized by a local organizing committee called LOCOC. The International Paralympic Committee, what it does is to oversee, to support, and to educate the local organizing committee on how to implement this event. Apart from this big project, we also look after the development of Paralympic sport. So we have a foundation called the Agitos Foundation, who does workshops all over the world. Mainly we try to focus on Africa and South America. And we also do education. We have a partnership with the World Academy of Sport. So we have created what is called the IPC Academy, and we do online courses for the games officials, train the trainers, and we try to look at new possibilities for people with a disability to also have the chance to participate on education. And so apart from the big event, which is going very well here in London, we do many other things.
What about?
I work for the Paralympic Games department as a coordinator, and this department was created only a few years ago, and the reason it was created is because as the events are growing in size, they're getting more and more complicated, and our role is to plan and coordinate this event. So our daily job consists on communication direct with the local organizing committee, and we also try to solve any issues that cannot be resolved in a department to department level. So during the 7 years prior to the games, we start working with the local organizing committee, and during games time what we do is we have a small office here in London, and we'll try to solve any issues that arise during the games. So if the transport is not working, we try to contact the right people and try to help them with solutions that we can implement because we know that they have worked before in other games. I think there have been amazing games. Everyone I talk to, they are really, really inspired and really happy that the games came here back to London after so many years. And there are so many world records being broken in the stadium, in the aquatics, and all the people who is involved, volunteers, staff members of the local organizing committee, everyone is really, really proud, and I have to say thank you for their work because they're really making a difference, and I just have to congratulate London for what they're doing. What we are looking in the next coming years, it's an improvement of the Paralympic Games as an event, but without forgetting that the athletes should be our center, and we're trying to commercialize and professionalize the Paralympic movement. So we're looking not just to the big event, which is the London 2012 Paralympic Games, but we're looking at smaller events, World Championships, and national Paralympic committees, and how to help them to develop the Paralympic sport in their own countries, which is really, really important for the long-term vision of the IPC. Well, I can see that more and more sport organizations are looking into areas that they were not that important before. So social media, for example, is an area that has developed and keeps growing. Also sport analytics and statistics. Most of the organizations, they start to look at how to manage the performances, looking at every single detail. And we see this even in Paralympic sport, with athletes being filmed and being assessed in these areas that were only for Olympians in the past. And I also see that events tend to internationalize. So what before were leagues, small leagues or small events, they're trying to grow and go abroad, and trying to involve countries that they were not that involved in sport before, like Middle East, South America, or Asia. The only thing I would like to say is that I'm really proud to be back here in Birkbeck, and really inspire me, and I'm really looking forward to come back here at some point and contribute to the future of this institution.